right, so we've covered race, we've covered religion. Who else can I piss off in a cleaning video? Oh, I know. Okay, no, this isn't more pleasant. This is actually diabolical. I apologize to everyone for this video. I think I might have cancer. Hello, my dirty little dishes. Welcome back. We are going to do a whole house clean today. A whole house, well, most of the house. We're going to do most of the house. Now, the whole house is horrific. The whole house is out of control, as you can see. We've got trash piling up. We have a kitchen table that is overflowing. We've got snacks left on the counter for no good reason. There's just dishes. The whole thing is a hot mess express, as per usual. But we're going to talk a little bit about my favorite hack, my favorite ADHD hack for, oh, that unicorn. I tried to super glue it back together to paint it with Amelia. Listen, anyway, speaking of ADHD, I got distracted, but we're going to talk about my favorite ADHD hack for getting the house clean, okay? Which I think we've talked about before if you're a long-time listener, first-time caller, which is to invite someone over, have somebody come over, have there be other people who will have eyes on the house. That is the fastest way for me to get it together, kick myself into gear, and force myself to clean, right? Hello, Willow. Willow is so excited to see me. Archie could care less. He is here for the snacks, not the love. I don't know why all of the stuffed animals are in the middle of the living room. They should be here in Amelia's room with all of her other things. So, excuse me, or here with all of our other things. I just cleaned the bedroom. I just cleaned the top of that dresser nary a week ago, okay? And it is like that again. So anyway, moving on. So ADHD hack, have somebody come over, then you kick yourself into gear, right? Otherwise, I don't care. Today, I filmed this on Sunday and Monday morning. So Sunday, this is the afternoon, there is a dog hair tumbleweed. Welcome. Disgusting. On Sunday, I thought, you know what? This is out of control. Here's the basement. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not get to this in today's clean. I'm just showing you how out of control the house is. The whole house. The entire house. So on Sunday, I looked around and thought, what a mess. We've got to get this together. So I started getting things together, and then I got tired and Amelia needed a nap. And so I took a look at that. There's just garbage. It's garbage. There's garbage down here. The stuff that was set up is from a party that we threw like 3 weeks ago. Oh, here's the wheel. I wanted to make it fun for myself. So I put all of the different rooms here, and the dining room table was the first on the wheel. Okay, so sorry, I am all over the place, but promise you I'm going to explain what's happening. And we have a whole hour together, so relax, all right? Be patient. I will get to it. I'm going to explain it. So I needed to clean. We took a nap. I took a break. I got distracted. Amelia wanted to play after the nap. So I didn't finish everything on Sunday. So my plan was to wake up early Monday morning before I went to work, before the babysitter came over, and finish it up on Monday morning, which I did. Spoiler alert, you're going to see it here, right before your very eyes. I think I probably got more done Monday morning than I got done Sunday afternoon. And the reason is because I had a fire under my butt. It was urgent. I needed to get it finished. Not only did I want to get it finished and get everything vacuumed up before the babysitter got there so that she wouldn't have to sit on piles of dog hair on the floor when she plays with Amelia, but also because I wanted to finish this video. I wanted to finish recording all of the footage for the video so that I could record this voiceover today, which I am, because today is Monday and I am in my office. I only had one client this morning. I have oodles of time all by myself to record the voiceover. So I was like, okay, I got to get it all done before the babysitter comes and before I have time to do the voiceover. Because if I don't finish it today, then who knows when I'll have time to do a voiceover, because my life is chaos. So that's it. If you were just here for the ADHD hack, that's it. I'm also missing the other sandal. I think we left it maybe in my car, maybe at the pool that we went to the other day, because I had to leave in a hurry because Amelia was having a meltdown, because I was having a meltdown. I'll get to that later, but I was having a meltdown, and then she wanted to stay, and then because I said we had to go, she had a meltdown, and then I probably lost a sandal, so that's not great. So yeah, but that was it. That was the ADHD hack. If that's all you were here for, I guess it was really nice knowing you, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. That was it. Just have urgency. That's the hack. Have a sense of urgency and hurry, and then you will clean. Otherwise, like if I didn't have these two goals in mind, of cleaning so that the babysitter wouldn't have to get dog hair all over herself all day, and so that I could finish my video, so that I could do my voiceover, if I didn't have those two goals, then I wouldn't have cleaned at all. It would have just been like this the whole week. So that's that. All right, let's get into some story time, guys. How are you? How are things? How are you doing? What are you cleaning today? Let me know in the comments. What are you up to? What are your goals? I feel like it's really hard to maintain like any sense of routine in the summer sometimes, because there's just, I mean, I guess if you have like a regular job that you go to every day from the same hours as an adult, it doesn't matter. Oh, look, this is a dog hair thing. That's going to come into play much later. But I am excited about it. It's a little dog hair cleaner upper thing. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you have a regular job, then I guess your schedule probably doesn't change too much throughout the year. But my schedule, I have fewer clients right now, so I'm only working 2 days a week, and which is amazing. And so yeah, I'm just having trouble like really motivating myself to do anything. Oh, more toilet bowl cleaners. And so it's been kind of tough. And I'm also having trouble planning activities for my daughter to do during the summer. Amari has been keeping himself busy. He has his friends that he hangs out with. He goes to go fishing with them. Both, like two of his best friends both live near, like one lives on a pond and then the other one lives within walking distance to a lake in our area. So we live near a river, but he says the fishing by our river is poor. Like he doesn't like it. So he goes to his friends' houses all the time. This is the first, well, last summer he didn't go to summer camp. Last summer was the first year that he didn't go to summer camp, but he still needed somebody to watch him. So that was kind of a bummer. This summer he's 13, so I feel like he's old enough to stay home alone if he needs to. So I just let him kind of sleep in. I let him do whatever he's going to do. He tells me when he wants to go to his friend's house or whatever, and then I take him or I tell him no or whatever the situation is. He just spent a whole week in Tennessee with a friend who they went on a fishing trip with his friend's dad. So he's living his best life outdoors. And then the times that he's not outdoors, he is screaming at his Xbox. So that's great. And making questionable TikTok videos. But if you have advice about how to talk to your teenagers, This is so embarrassing. I'm genuinely asking you for advice. I know I rarely ask for advice on here because I never follow it, but this is actually something I don't know, even though I'm a counselor. What do you do? Like, he wasn't supposed to have TikTok. He wasn't supposed to have Instagram. Um, because I think 13 is too young for those, even though I guess legally he can. According to the app, like user agreements, 13 is when they say go for it. But I was like, yeah, I feel like you don't need that kind of pressure in your life. You don't need that kind of access to other people's opinions about you at such a young age, like unfiltered like that. Um, I feel like middle school and high school were hard enough for me without social media. So I didn't want him to have social media, but he ended up figuring out how to do it anyway, of course, because kids are smarter than us now with technology. And so rather than shutting it all down, because let's be honest, if there's a will, there's a way. Like life will find a way, right? Like Jurassic Park. Rather than trying to play whack-a-mole with him and his online presence, I figured I would just follow him on his social media accounts. And we had a conversation about it. We talked about it. We talked about some rules of engagement. We talked about expectations. We talked about how the internet is forever and he probably shouldn't swear and say rude things and all of that, right? So we had the internet conversation. We also had internet safety conversations. Like, hey, just because you think you're talking to another 13 or 14-year-old doesn't mean that you are. You could be talking to a creepy adult. You could be talking to somebody who might want to harm you. Like, don't give out your address. Don't, whatever, right? Don't become best friends with an online stranger, right? That's crazy. That's dangerous. You should never do that. So we've had these conversations. He didn't really post a whole lot after that, but then I started recently getting these notifications on his TikTok when he's posting, and I looked at it yesterday, and you guys, he's this is complicated for a lot of reasons, okay? He's posting a lot of songs, like, you know how TikTok is, right? You post yourself, your face, whatever, and then you have a song behind you, and then you do like a dance or you put words above it, like explaining something, right? And so I'm not going to show it his here because it's his business, right? But anyway, so whatever. Point is, he's posting songs that are very explicit, super duper explicit. Like, oh, let's time to spin the wheel again. Now what? Now, okay, Amelia's room. We're going to clean Amelia's room. I kept spinning. I know I should have just cleaned the kitchen after I cleaned the dining room table, but I just did not have it in me, you guys. I did not want to clean the kitchen, so I kept spinning the wheel. And then eventually, I think I probably abandoned the wheel and just did what I had to do. So, again, I have ADHD. Theming and following through are not my strong suits. You're welcome. So Amari and his social media and his TikTok. So his TikToks have horrific language. Not only the F word, not only talking about what he would like to do to the ladies. Not him, but the songs, right? In graphic detail. But also the N word, which, again, I am conflicted, right? I'm raising a son who is black. Okay. He's mixed race. His mom was white, but he looks black. You look at him, he's a black young man. Okay. And I am not black, and my husband is not black. He is Mexican. And we live in an area that is very white, I would say, very Caucasian. And so Amari is in a very unfortunate unique position where he has been adopted into a family dynamic where he is the only Black person in our family. And, you know, because of that, I feel like he's 13, right? He's trying to find his identity. He's trying to figure out who he is as a Black man. Just to be transparent as a parent, you know, there are things we could be doing better. Adoption is a super complicated topic. It is especially transracial adoption, super, super hot topic, very controversial for good reason. You know, I think it is important for children to grow up being able to identify with other people who look like them, with other people who are from their culture. And we are not, just to be honest, like we're not doing everything that we should probably be doing to help him in that way. I found a therapist for him who is a Black male. So that is a positive, you know, Black male presence in his life that we were intentional about. I take him to Black barbers to get his hair cut. I have taken him to a Black hairstylist to get his hair braided or twisted or whatever he wants. But just honestly, in our day-to-day life, you know, we don't hang out with a lot of Black people. My business partner, one of them is African American, but I don't see her a whole lot. She mostly works virtually with our business. So yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth of our family situation, is that he doesn't have a lot of Black people in his life, but he's Black, and he deserves to explore what that means to him. Which, again, going back to the TikToks and him posting these songs that are using the N-word and all of that, you know, like I have mixed feelings about it. Do I think he should be posting those? Probably not. You know, I don't think it's great, but on the other hand, who am I to question that, right? Who am I to condemn him for that or tell him he shouldn't or to censor him for exploring? Oh, sorry, quick break. Read the red words. I bought that sweatshirt from Jen Hamilton's store. She's a creator on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. She's on there. Jen Hamilton is amazing. She's a nurse. I will come back to that in a minute. Read the red words. Put a pin in that. I will try to remember it. But let me just finish this topic. So this is complicated. This is not just about a kid swearing on the internet and shutting it down. I feel like this is more complex. So I think what we will do is he's going to see his therapist this week. I don't normally interfere in that relationship. I don't normally tell the therapist anything. Like, I don't tell the therapist any problems we're having. I don't tell him anything really. I mean, except at the beginning when we were introducing ourselves. Another ADHD hack coming up, or just life hack in general, in a second. See what I'm doing? I am putting together my outfit for the next day. I hang it up and hang it on the back of the bathroom door. And I'm also picking my outfit for Tuesday, because those are the 2 days that I'm going to work. So hack for life. Pick out your outfits ahead of time. I also put my workout clothes in the bathroom for the next morning so that when I wake up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, I just go in the bathroom, I put my workout clothes on, I go downstairs on my treadmill, and I work out, and then I come right back up, take my shower, and get dressed in my clothes for the day. Amazing. Like, then I don't wake anybody up, I don't disturb anybody, super easy peasy. So do that if you want, or not. I don't care. Do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to me. What do I know? as you can tell, I don't know everything. So I just, anyway. Anyway, I don't interfere with that relationship. I don't ask questions of the therapist. I literally like I just want Amari to have a safe person to talk to, okay? So he does. But I think I might mention it to him just in an email before he sees him. Um, just to mention it, just to see if maybe they have a conversation casually about it. Also, my other resource is my therapist. I'm going to see her this week as well, later in the week. And Amelia wants to be a dinosaur because, of course, she wants to be a dinosaur. Why wouldn't she? I want to be a dinosaur. It sounds like a lot less work than being a mom and a person who works. My other resource is my therapist. Now, my therapist is a Hispanic woman who has 3 Black children that she adopted from foster care. So, and I actually started seeing her as my therapist way before I married a Mexican man who had an adopted Black son. So it just so happened to work out. So she is an amazing resource. Yay, look at everything's clean. Yay, good job, Megan. Woohoo. But yeah, so she's an amazing resource. She's been through it. Her kids are all, I think her youngest just graduated from high school. So all of her kids are now adults. So she has successfully raised 3 Black children, in a transracial adoption situation. So she's been through it and she has good advice usually. One thing that she did that we haven't, which, I mean, it's not really practical for us at the moment, just financially, but she and her husband chose to live in a much more diverse town, in our area. So she is much, she's much closer to a more diverse population. So her kids were able to go to schools that had a lot more people who looked like them. They also went to churches where a lot more people look like them. So even though they, their parents didn't look like them, they had lots of friends and family friends and stuff who were like them, and they were able to see their culture and their people of their race, like how that looks in real life, in real time, and have relationships like that. And as much as I would like to say, like, oh, race doesn't matter, like it's, we're all just people, there are definitive cultural differences, right? Like if you were to go into a home of an African American person, like things would probably just be a little bit different than how things are in my home. Like from everything from the music they listen to, the spices in their spice cabinet, the decor, all of that kind of stuff. So how they talk to each other, how just whatever, like it's just, there are differences. And as much as I would love for there not to be differences, there just are, right? So anyway, all that to say, if any one of you happens to have this very unique perspective, of raising a Black male, a Black boy, who now looks like a man. He is now taller than Ed. He is definitely a tall man boy at this point. If any of you have experience with that, or transracial adoption, or what have you, I know that there are things that we're doing well, that we're trying, that we are aware of, and then there's things that we should be doing better and that we haven't. And so again, this is why I am hesitant to come down hard on him with posting posting TikToks and Instagram stuff with swearing and the N-word. So that is that. That I don't talk a lot about Amari's story because it is his story, not my story. But I think in this particular situation, like as a parent, right? Like I don't think he's doing anything wrong. I'm not trying to like be like, oh my gosh, he's out of control. He is a good kid. He has a good heart. He's a good kid. But I'm just sharing this like from the perspective of his mom. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I'm not even his mom, like, right? I'm not even his mom. I'm legally nothing to him. Even though I mean, I know you guys are going to eat me alive in the comments. You're his mom. You're raising him. You're feeding him. You're blah, blah. Yes. Like, yeah. Okay. Yes. Like I am his mom figure in this house. But yeah, it is, guys, it's complicated. My life is complicated. And his life is complicated. His life is super complicated. So that's that. Now let's go back. What should we talk about? So this is the next morning, FYI. This is, if you've noticed the change in outfit here. I'm showing you everything that I tried to do in like an hour in the morning. I clipped it up so it's not the full hour that you're seeing, but this is where like really like everything kind of kicked in. I made lunches. I got some barbecue pulled pork going in the crock pot. So making lunch for Ed, making lunch for me, getting things set up for the day, tidying some things up. And then after I make the food, that is when I really, really kick it into high gear. And what was I counting? I forgot what I was trying to figure out there. But anyway, that's when I really kicked it into high gear and like finished cleaning the living room, finished cleaning my room, vacuumed everything, et cetera, et cetera. I took the trash out again, all that. So that's where we're at visually here. Let's go back to the Jen Hamilton sweatshirt. Read the red words. If you thought we were controversial talking about race, let's talk about religion. let's just be controversial for an hour, I guess. Yeah, let's talk about religion, and then shoot, maybe we'll cover politics at the end. No, I don't know. Well, the religion and politics are kind of intertwined here. So let's go for it. If you're not familiar with Jen Hamilton, she's incredible. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's smart. She's a labor and delivery nurse who's famous on the internet. But I'm sure most of you are familiar with her because she's freaking everywhere. And I think she's a delight. Mostly she posts about her experiences as a labor and delivery nurse, and how she helps her patients, and how she's very kind, and how she tries to help make the environment on her nursing unit very positive and encouraging, and how she loves raising chickens, and she loves her kids, and she loves her husband, and she's just like a very sweet, nice, kind, generous person. Her dad, I think she comes from a long line of kind, generous people. Her dad has like a charity where he helps children go out on a boat on the lake where he lives and like do tubing and water skiing and wakeboarding and stuff, like kids who have just different disabilities and need different adaptive support in order to do that kind of activity. And she helps him with that. And they're just nice people, right? They're good people. They're good Christian people, right? And so she talks where she gets a little controversial unintentionally. Like, I think she didn't mean to be controversial, is that she talks about the nuance of certain things like healthcare and access to abortion being healthcare, while still being a Christian, while still believing in God and Jesus and the sanctity of life and all of that. So she has talked about that pretty openly over the years. That she has seen firsthand how access to life-saving care in emergencies with pregnant women, how important that is, and how some of the laws that are being passed in different conservative states can be kind of dangerous, can be super dangerous for women. So she's talked about that in a very kind and compassionate way. Again, she's a Christian. She believes that babies are beautiful and precious, but she also works every day in healthcare and sees all of the nuance of what can happen and what can go wrong with pregnancies and with adult human beings who are here already and who need help, right? So she's talked about that, but most recently, the controversy that has come up. Oh, sorry, this is me, just a quick interlude here. This is me trying to figure out if a best by date is the same as an expiration date. They are not the same. The best by date on this pre-cooked chicken was 2 days ago. And I'm going to eat it anyway, guys. So if I don't see you again, that's what happened to me. I'm also going to give the rest of it to the dogs because I think this is the last day that I would be comfortable eating it. I am usually this is very unusual for me. I would typically never eat food that was past its best by date, but it smelled good. It smelled fine. It wasn't, I don't know, it's fine. Anyway, so Jen Hamilton, the current controversy, she has also spoken about immigrants, right? We all know I am married to an immigrant from Mexico. He's legal now, but he wasn't always a citizen here. So I have strong opinions about that, but she also has strong opinions about it because, again, she works with a lot of really vulnerable people every day in her work, and she has shared just her opinions about how we should be treating other people as Christians. Sorry, I think I just hit the mic. Sorry if that was loud. I am not a Christian anymore. I grew up Christian. I grew up evangelical. So I'm very familiar with the Bible, very familiar with the teachings of Christ. Currently, I'm actually probably more familiar with the Bible than I ever have been because I listen to a former pastor debate Christians almost every day on YouTube. If you are interested in that, this guy is named Justin. He has a channel called Deconstruction Zone. He also has a second channel called DZ Debates, and he is wicked smart. He's an engineer. And he has an encyclopedic knowledge of the Bible. Like, he has memorized many, many, many verses. And he went to Bible college, he went to seminary, and he, through that process, deconstructed because he read the Bible. And he was like, actually, this doesn't match up. Anyway, if you're interested in that, check him out. I listen to it all the time. I love studying the Bible through that lens. It helps me understand how I grew up, and it helps me understand why I believe what I believe now. But anyway, Jen Hamilton is a Christian, and she believes that we should be kind to everyone. We should be kind to everybody. So recently she did a video because somebody was upset with her for getting political. And so she did a video recently where she just read the Bible. She read the New Testament. She read the words of Jesus Christ, and people lost their minds. People lost their damn minds. They got so angry with her. They accused her of cherry picking the scripture. They accused her of misrepresenting the Bible. They accused her of all kinds of things. She got threats. She had to get a bodyguard to go speak at a conference this past week because she read the Bible, and Christians got real upset about it. I bought Jen Hamilton's sweatshirt, Read the Red Words, that she put out after this whole controversy, because
when the hatred became almost more than I could bear, I was like, I have to figure out a way to turn this into something positive. My friends helped me design some shirts, and 100% of the profit from all the shirts that I'll show you are going to charities that impact the communities that Jesus called us to love specifically. In certain Bibles, the words of Jesus are highlighted in red, so this shirt means to, take a look at what Jesus actually says. And the TLDR of Jesus's words is basically this message. I was accused by people who claim to follow Jesus of being toxically empathetic. I was accused of taking scripture out of context to fit a political narrative. Because as I've now learned, when the Bible is talking about compassion, we need context, but we don't need context when we're using the Bible against people that we don't like. That scripture can be taken literally to fit a political narrative. The shirts come in different styles, colors, flavors. We have extended sizing in some of the shirts, so they go from extra large to 5XL. And since launching the shirts, we have raised $84,448.94. And every single penny will go directly to charities that impact the communities that Jesus called us to care for specifically. We're also narrowing down the charities that the money will go to. So if you can think of a charity that impacts people that I'm about to talk about, please let me know. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a foreigner and you invited me in. I was naked and you clothed me. I was in prison and you visited me. And Jesus goes on to say that whatever you do for those communities, you do for him. I want to give it to the end of the week and see if we can make it an even $100,000 to charity.
if you know Jesus, if you want to be part of Jesus's crew, then you cannot, I don't think, you cannot also be cruel and horrible to other human beings. He was pretty clear about that. He was pretty, that was kind of almost all he talked about, was how to treat other people. That was his whole gig, right? Be kind, be merciful, be compassionate, okay? Help the poor, help the immigrant, help the woman, help the widow, help the orphans, help other people, okay? Feed the hungry, clothe the naked. That's what Jesus talks about when you look at the words that came out of his mouth. And when you look at who he criticizes, when you look at who Jesus talks about being not able to get into heaven, most of the people that he criticizes are the ultra-religious folks of the day. Those are the people he criticizes, because those are the people that were looking more at the letter of the law, looking more at the rituals and practices and, outward appearances and behaviors and the rules and regulations, and ignoring the humanity that stood before them in need. When Jesus got mad, that's what he got mad about. When Jesus had compassion, when Jesus had praise for people, it was when they were caring for others. So that's why I bought that sweatshirt. Because I think, even though, like I said, I am no longer a believer, I think I think the person of Jesus, the character of Jesus, was a pretty good one, right? Like I think he overall, if you really read what he had to say, um, I think he I think he had the right idea. Take care of other people, love other people, be kind to other people, be considerate of other people, uh, and and also like have some ability for nuance and gray in your life. Where he got upset, like I said, was when people were being rigid, right? When he got criticized, or his disciples got criticized for feeding themselves or feeding other people and working on the Sabbath, right? He's like, who cares? The religious leaders were all, got their panties in a bunch about it. And he's like, who, like, okay, well, we're hungry. Like we have to eat. Would you rather us starve? Like, do you want us to starve? Or do you think maybe we can have a snack on the Sabbath? Like, is that cool? Um, there's room for nuance. There's room for being a rational human being. And as far as Jesus is concerned, right? It's not all like fire and brimstone and legalities. Uh, so, all right. So we've covered race. We've covered religion. Who else can I piss off in a cleaning video? We've got 15 more minutes. I don't know who else I can upset, but maybe we'll go back to a more pleasant topic. Oh, I know. Okay, no, this isn't more pleasant. This is actually diabolical. I apologize to everyone for this video. I think I might have cancer, and I don't mean this in a like feel sorry for me kind of way. I mean obviously I don't know, right? I haven't been to the doctor yet, but I did make an appointment, and I don't know if I'm crazy and a hypochondriac with an anxiety disorder, which is, I I have in the past been a crazy hypochondriac with an anxiety disorder. I have it more under control now, but if you met me in 2020, boy, howdy, was I a crazy hypochondriac with an anxiety disorder. But anyway, now I have it much more under control. I've been pretty chill. I've been able to overcome multiple panic attacks in recent times. Like right after I started my Adderall recently, I had a couple of panic attacks, and I was like, oh, I knew to expect that. I can talk myself through it. I am a-okay. So I feel like I've been doing much better, okay? Also, for those playing along, the ADHD medication / blood pressure concern game, I am doing much better. I'm exercising every day. My blood pressure is under control. I'm taking the Adderall, and I feel fantastic. So I'm hoping to just stay on the Adderall because I feel like it's helping me. But anyway, so I'm doing well in that way. But I've had this little pain, this like kind of dull aching pain under my rib, towards the middle of my back for months. And at first I was like, oh, I'm just sleeping funny, or like maybe it's because I'm slouching too much. I'm not, I have bad posture or whatever. But it has continued for months. And now it is more intense. Like when I take a deep breath, I feel it. Or if I stretch or move around, I can feel it. And I'm getting worried. Now, let me tell you why I jumped to cancer immediately. Lung cancer is where I think this is heading, which again, I hate even putting this out into the universe. I know like it's a horrible thing to think about or to talk about if it's not true. But I'm just telling you where my brain's at. And hopefully I am just crazy. But here's where it's coming from. Stick with me. So a few years ago, I started watching a channel called Jenny Apple. Okay, her YouTube channel was called Jenny Apple. Now it's called The Apples because she passed away. Jenny was I think she was 32 or 33 when she got diagnosed with lung cancer. She was never a smoker. She was a vegan. She was super healthy, did yoga, lived in Southern California, like whatever. She was a healthy, normal person. Unfortunately, she had a genetic mutation and ended up with lung cancer at a young age. The very first symptom that she had in March of 2020 was rib pain in her back. And she noticed it and she was like, I want to get it checked out. But it was March of 2020, which, if you remember, was when the pandemic started. And so she was going to make a doctor's appointment, and then the pandemic started, and then she's like, well, I'll just wait till COVID is over, and then I'll go to the doctor. Well, COVID never ended. So she waited basically a whole year. So that was March of 2020. March of 2021, she was having worsening pain in her rib. She was getting short of breath. She was having pain in her chest. She went to her doctor. The doctor was like, meanwhile, by the way, she had a baby. So she had a little boy already, and then she had a baby. And I think she started noticing the pain, like right after she had the baby. And so then the pain was getting worse, and the doctor just told her, like, hey, maybe you should stop lifting the kids so much. Like, that's probably what's causing your rib pain. Just stop, it's like from the repetitive motion. So she said, okay, fine. And he said, just do, like, you already do yoga. He's like, just do more yoga, stretch more. So she did. She did her yoga routine every single day. She took walks every day until one day she was taking her kids to the park and she just could not function. She was completely short of breath. She was, her kids were asking her to run with them and play with them. And she said she just couldn't. She couldn't. And she was pulling them in their little wagon or whatever. So after that, she talked to her husband. She talked to her sister, who's a nurse. And they were like, you really, really, really need to get checked out. So long story short, because, she's got hundreds of videos on her channel you can watch if you want to know her whole story. Long story short, by the time she got diagnosed, she had to beg and beg and beg for imaging because her blood work was all perfect. Like, everybody's like, oh, you're amazing. Look at how healthy you are. Her blood work was fine. Look at those dogs, immediately back on the couch. Like, the second it's clean, they're back on the couch, of course. Anyway, so she now time to vacuum. It's going to be so gross. The vacuum got full so fast. I just emptied it. So Jenny begged and begged and begged for imaging. Nobody would give it to her. Finally, she got it, and lo and behold, she had a mass on her lung and had stage, I think 3A or 3B lung cancer. She had no cough, like no chronic cough, no spitting up blood, none of that, just the rib pain and shortness of breath. So, which brings me to myself. Presently, I have had this rib pain, this under the muscle in my lower, like my mid back, under my ribs, my lower ribs, for several months. It has not gone away. I do occasionally have shortness of breath. I have had poor cardiovascular health for many moons, and unlike Jenny Apple, I was a smoker. I was a massive, massive smoker. I like to forget about it. I like to pretend like I wasn't, but I was. I smoked for 15 years. I started smoking when I was 16. I proceeded to smoke all through, I quit for a period of time in college, and then I took it back up when I moved to Chicago because I was hanging out with a bunch of artists and I worked in a bar and whatever. So there was a period of time in my early 20s when I was smoking a pack and a half a night. Okay. I was smoking a lot, and I was around a lot of other people who were smoking. And I also, after I quit smoking, once I broke up with an ex-boyfriend, I started vaping. So I smoked for a long time. I vaped for about 5 years, and now I have rib pain and shortness of breath, and I am concerned. So hopefully it is nothing. Hopefully I am just cuckoo, Cocoa Puff crazy and a hypochondriac with an anxiety disorder. But I would really like to get checked out. I mean, I go to the gynecologist and get checked out for cervical cancer, however often you're supposed to go. I went and got my mammogram because that's what you're supposed to do. So I feel like for a 41-year-old with a 20-year history of smoking, I should probably get that checked out because you never know. Also, my grandfather died of colon cancer. My grandmother died of some kind of cancer. I don't know if it was stomach cancer or ovarian cancer. I'm not really sure. She died. Oh, look at that. She died when I was like 10 months old or something. And then my dad just had not thyroid cancer, thymus. He had some kind of cancer of his thymus gland, which is super rare. Like there were not even enough cases in this country for there to be like any real statistics on it. Now he went through crazy treatment for like a year. He's totally fine. Well, totally fine is not necessarily true. But he's functional now. He is cancer free. However, he only has like 30% capacity in one of his lungs. And he was never a smoker or anything, but he did grow up in a house with asbestos. So, which is also a house that I spent a lot of time in when I was a little kid. So anyway, I hope I don't have that. I mean, that at some point in my life, like I probably will have something, right? Some form of cancer. Just statistically speaking, like it's highly likely considering my genetics and my history. So hopefully that's not now. Hopefully I'm, again, just anxious and overly cautious, but I'm really nervous to talk to my doctor about it. I have an appointment next week to talk to my doctor. He's probably going to be sick of me. Like I just saw him for the ADHD, and now I'm coming back and telling like, hi doc, like I am a counselor. That's going great. He always starts out with that, like, how's business going? Yes, I am a mentally stable counselor for mental health. Now listen to my crazy concern. So I do have a huge fear of his judgment, even though he's the nicest man on the planet, and he'll probably do whatever I ask. But yeah, I have an appointment with him next week. I'm going to ask if he will order a CT scan for me of my chest and my back. That was from the stairs. I didn't film myself cleaning, but that was from the stairs. That was disgusting. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him if I can have a CT scan, or at the very least an X-ray, like something. And hopefully we'll see. Just to put my mind at ease. Also, final controversy. Do you think that when you take the trash out, do you think that you should put the new trash bag back in before you take the trash all the way out? Or do you think you should just leave that for later, for whenever you think about it again later? I believe that you should put the new trash bag in as part of that process immediately. My husband doesn't do it, and it drives me up a wall, because then when I need to go put trash in the garbage can after that, then there's not a bag in there, and then it drives me nuts. So I'm just showing, I am just demonstrating to you that the whole loop of this process is take the trash out, put the new bag in, then take the garbage outside. That is how I believe it should be done. Come at me in the comments if you disagree. The comment section on this video is going to be wild, wild. It is going to be a hot mess. But I'm prepared. I'm preparing myself. Okay, here's the final product before I left for work this morning. The kitchen is kitchening. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Look at that beautiful bean footage. Does anybody remember that commercial for Bush's Beans? I think we're going to have baked beans tonight with the barbecue pork. Look at that gorgeous, stunning living room. Incredible. Perfection. Look at that bathroom. Look at that guest bathroom. That bathroom was not too bad. I honestly just did like a quick little pickup there. No big whoop. My bedroom, stunning. Gorge. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that clean top of the dresser. Amelia's room. I need to do another video where I throw away like a bunch of toys. And look, here's my before, my PJ or whatever, my underclothes before I got ready. And here's my work outfit. Yay! That's what I'm wearing to work today. Actually, that's what I'm wearing right now. Look at me, dressed like an adult with a job. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'm terrified of the reactions to this video, but, you know, thanks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you. If I haven't totally scared you, I'll see you in the next video. Mwah! I love you. Bye.